Hi, I'm Brian from Atomic-Moto, and I'm here to do a review on the Forma Dominator TX 2.0 motocross boots. Now, this model has a long history in Forma's line, and incidentally, this is actually the product that we started our business from. We bought a bunch of these from the previous Forma distributor. It's been around for a while, and they've made several iterative changes that have really improved the product. We're looking forward to explaining it to you and giving you the full update on it. Let's get started. Let me give you some of the basics on the Dominator TX 2.0. Now, this boot retails for $349 as of the filming of this video. It weighs 4.76 pounds to this size 45. Most of the boots in the motocross category are 4 to 4.5 pounds, so this is a little bit on the heavy side. And again, it's a size 45. It comes in sizes 41 through 48 in the EU scale. And incidentally, if you look on our website, there's a conversion chart for converting EU to USA sizes. Our conversion at Atomic-Moto is different than Forma Corporate's. That is intentional. We actually spent a lot of time developing it with Forma's help, ironically, and we feel that ours is more correct than theirs. Just something to note. Talking about the fit of the Dominator TX 2.0, this is a generally wide-fitting boot. There's a lot of room in the foot chamber, a lot of width, and a little bit of vertical height. It's pretty actually slim, but there's plenty of width in it. It's generally a wider-fitting boot. The construction of it. First of all, the Dominator TX 2.0 has a nice, robust, and very rigid welt sole, and it is very, very difficult to build. This sole is much, much stiffer than, say, a Guerin SG10. We feel that that's a good thing for things like frontal impacts. There's an integrated steel shank in the midsole of the boot, and that helps actually with the rigidity and helps support your feet when you're on the pegs. The next most important thing to talk about it, we say it over and over again, is that the Dominator TX 2.0 has a mechanical hinge. This is one of the first boots with a mechanical hinge, incidentally. It's a single pivot design, very simple. They've played with the location a little bit, but it has a nice amount of flex, and the ankle area is nice and slim and supportive without any real creasing or binding problems as a consequence of the fact that this is mechanically hinged. The buckles on it are Forma's standard aluminum buckle. They're very simple. We actually prefer this version of their buckle than the one that they use on some of their higher end boots. Real simple male-female pass-through design. They're sturdy, they're replaceable, they are cheap, they generally don't break. There are a lot of plastic pieces on this boot. There's a nice sturdy shin plate, lots of plastic all the way around. I'll sit this out here so you can get a look at it. We'll drop some detail shots in also. There's plastic all around the foot area. A nice big robust heel counter. That's good, very protective in case you get the foot pegs in the back of the heel. And then a good calf protector here also. There's a rubber burn guard here. One of the things that they've done on the Dominator TX 2.0 is they changed from a suede burn guard here to a rubber one, silicone actually, and it's a little bit larger. And in fact, the calf circumference is a little bit larger. This is more accommodating for large calves and for bigger knee guards. Some other cool things about it, lots of flex zones, but they just do some really clever things. We really like Forma because they're pretty smart about how they design stuff, and I'm going to open it up and show you what I mean. You know, sometimes what you don't notice is how easy, what can really annoy you is putting a boot on and off, how much of a pain or a hassle it is. They actually floated this little tongue right here. I'm going to try and get this out of the way so you can see it. This is a really important part of the boot because it's got to be heavily padded. It has to be really sturdy for protection. But it actually can sometimes be difficult to close, to get over, and they actually floated this. It's really nice. It's just a good design, and then there's a gaiter behind it, so it's much, much easier. This opens up a lot all the way down. It's really easy to get this boot on and off. We really like that. The other thing to talk about the Dominator TX 2.0 is how it compares to other boots in the market and how it compares to other boots in the Forma line, like this Terrain TX over here. What's the big difference in this boot to some other models? Well, the Dominator has had small iterative changes to the shapes of plastic and to how it flexes, but what it really has that's really good is nice, thick memory foam padding throughout the ankle area and throughout the foot chamber. When you put this on, it has that really nice, cushy feel that you get on some high-end motocross boots. It's a mid-price boot, but it's got a really good, cushy feel to it. Sorry, let me get these buckles locked down here. And that's one of the nicest characteristics of this boot. Again, I mentioned it's a little bit heavy. You can see it's not the most minimalist boot, but what it is one of the more comfortable boots on the market. Good support through the ankle area, good support through the rear half of the foot in and around the heel, plenty of width in the foot chamber, and lots of good padding. That's the breakdown on the Dominator TX 2.0. Let's talk about how it's going to work out on the bike. Let me give you some comments on the Dominator TX, both as far as how it's going to work on the bike and actually how it relates to the rest of the market. Now, I want to emphasize, I've said this before too, I want to emphasize that Forma is a world-class boot builder. They are not a famous name in the United States. They are based in that northern Italy region where there is so much ambient, great technology and quality, and they really absorb that in and they build a great boot. You may not have heard of the company, but you will soon because they are world-class. They are right there on par with the other 4 big Italian boot brands. There are 5, Guernet, CD, Forma, Alpinestars, TCX. Forma is right there. In fact, they're kind of near the top. This boot just has a lot of really, really awesome things at a really great price point, and I can't emphasize that enough. It is comfortable, it is protective, it's got great flex because of the mechanical hinge, it's got a reasonably wide fit, yet it's still slim in the rear half, so it's good also for people that aren't necessarily blessed with a really wide or cursed with a really wide foot. It just fits a lot of people. This is just a really, really good, solid product, and those are the kinds of ones that we like. So certainly this is on our bomber recommended list, the Forma Dominator TX 2.0. We think you should take a hard look at it. And that's a good time to wrap this video. We are Atomic-Moto, www.atomic-moto.com, home of the bombers. We hope to see you out on the bike.